First of all, it is so great to have you here. I hope you're doing well, staying safe out there, and feeling fabulous at the same time. Anyways, today we are making what I consider to be the greatest breakfast potatoes ever. Like seriously, I've been making this recipe for over 15 years, and let me tell you, these potatoes, they have the most incredible textures and flavors. They're very easy to make, and they work perfect next to a couple fried eggs and some sliced tomatoes. Now the secret to this recipe, use a great olive oil here. This is what flavors and cooks the ingredients. I'm using one from Apollo. This one is their Miller's Favorite Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil. You've seen me use this here before in Spain on Fork. It truly is one of the best olive oils money can buy. It's got a beautiful rich flavor and it works perfect with these potatoes. Link where you can get some in the description box below. We're going to begin by scrubbing clean 3 medium-sized Yukon Gold potatoes under some cold running water. Now to make this recipe, you can use whatever type of potatoes that you like, though I do recommend Yukon Gold as they contain less starch. And also, as you can see, I'm leaving the skins on the potato as it gives them a beautiful rustic texture and flavor, but if you prefer, you can peel the potatoes. Then I'm going to pat the potatoes completely dry. And we'll cut the potatoes into cubes that are about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. I always like to cut off the tips first, that way you can easily stand the potato up. Cut it into vertical slices that are about 1/2 inch thick. Cut each vertical slice into pieces that are once again about 1/2 inch thick. And then cut them into cubes that are about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Once all the potatoes are cut, I'm going to add them into a stock pot and fill it with some cold water. You want to go to just above the potatoes. And we're going to heat it with a high heat. While our potatoes are cooking, let's get the rest of our ingredients ready. I'm going to grab 1 large onion. As you know, I always like to remove between 1 to 2 of the outer layers as it gives the onion an incredible texture and it makes it so much easier to cut. And roughly dice the onion. And I'm also going to grab 1 head of garlic, remove the cloves from the bulb, and cut a slit on each clove of garlic. That way once they're cooked, you can easily remove it from the skin. Alright, let's move back to our potatoes. It's been exactly 10 minutes since we turned on the heat and the potatoes should be perfectly cooked al dente. You don't want to overcook them, otherwise they're going to fall apart. You can always pierce one with a toothpick and if it goes in there and with some resistance, they are ready to go. I'm going to remove the stock pot from the heat. Drain the potatoes into a strainer and rinse them under some cold running water. This is going to stop the potatoes from cooking. Then I'm going to transfer the potatoes into a dishcloth and pat them completely dry. Remember to be gentle here, that way you don't break the potatoes apart. For the next step of the recipe, I'm going to grab a large saute pan. Important to use a deep pan here, that way all the ingredients fit in there. I'm going to heat this with a medium-high heat and add in 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil for 1 minute, I'm going to add in the diced onions and the cloves of garlic. And start mixing them around with that extra virgin olive oil. Very important to mix this continuously. We are on a medium-high heat. That way those onions don't burn and they all cook evenly. After about 5 minutes and those onions are starting to develop a light golden color, I'm going to add in the boiled potatoes into the pan. And start mixing everything together. That way all the potatoes are coated in that extra virgin olive oil. As you can see, I'm using a larger spatula now. It just makes it easier to move those potatoes around. And at this step, you don't have to mix the potatoes continuously, but do get in there about every 1 to 2 minutes. That way all the potatoes are evenly cooked. After about 14 to 15 minutes, and all the potatoes have a beautiful light golden color to them, and the onions are perfectly caramelized. That's what gives these potatoes that incredible flavor. I'm gonna season everything with half a teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, a generous pinch of sea salt, and some freshly cracked black pepper. I'm gonna give this a quick mix, that way all the seasonings are evenly mixed around. Remove the pan from the heat. Transfer our potato mixture into a serving dish. And sprinkle it with a generous portion of freshly chopped chives. Check it out, our breakfast potatoes are done. You saw how easy it was to put these together. Incredible aromas coming out of this. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. You know, this is what home cooking is all about. Grabbing basic ingredients and creating something that looks this delicious. Cannot wait to try this. A little bit of everything. Here we go. Absolutely delicious. First things first is those potatoes. They have a light crisp in the outside and the inside, the texture. You smell it in your mouth. As for the flavors, those caramelized onions, that's what really takes this dish over the top, along with that sweet smoked Spanish paprika and all that garlic flavor. You saw this, so easy to make and truly one of the greatest breakfast potatoes you will ever taste. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Joan Killico and Andres Churin. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one. It helps me with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and that card above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.